Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's AMA session. I'm Ahmed Tehemar. I'm Business Development Manager for Binance on the gaming side. And today we're welcoming Toli Makris from EX Sports. Hi, Toli.
Thank you, Ahmed. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Hope everyone is well.
Thank you very much. For those who don't know, please introduce us to EX Sports and to the team.
EX Sports is a fan engagement platform developed about 2 years ago. It's a blockchain-based fan engagement platform that focuses on esports because, as we have seen last year, a lot of major sports came into the space. They had the money, they had the resources, they had the power, they had the know-how, and they had the support to go into that. So EX Sports is a fan engagement platform that focuses on the not major sports, but all of the esports. The team consists of people that are in the sports industry for almost over 20 years. Myself, I've been in the industry for now 18 years. We have marketing people, we have gaming people in our team that are all, coming from different areas to together build the fan engagement platform.
What sports exactly do you guys have in the EX Sports?
We have partnered up with the Alliance of All Independent Sports to represent over 30 federations, which includes Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, powerlifting, arm wrestling, all of these different sports that are not, football or, basketball. But we also have street football that we are currently running a campaign with Binance and over 30 different disciplines.
So basically sports without the commercial part of it.
Exactly.
Great. Fair enough. What are the partnerships that you have currently in the Sports Federation? And what are those nature of those partnerships? Do you have specific federations that you have partnerships with?
Yeah, absolutely. We have signed with over 30 federations with the Alliance of All. I'll give you, for example, an example in the UAE because we are based in the UAE as well. So we have partnered up with the International Federation of Jiu-Jitsu, which is in more than 126 countries. And we are not only the NFT partner, but we are the exclusive blockchain partner. So we are there to help them to monetize on upcoming revenue streams that, blockchain technology can bring. So we are, first step is obviously to allow, all of their 4 million active athletes around the world to monetize by selling their NFTs or their virtual merchandising. But then we are also their streaming partner because we are integrating the stream into our platform, etc.
Great. Can you give us an example of how you used the blockchain to benefit a sport?
So I kept it very simple with them because, they are not so tech savvy. I've been dealing with these federations and with these partners for the last 17 years. For them, even, streaming was a very new thing even 3 years ago. So I kept it super simple. I didn't want to complicate things. I didn't want to go and, educate them about the whole, crypto and blockchain and how everything works in detail. And the easy way that everyone understands it, that we are producing virtual merchandising and that the virtual merchandising has to be built on the blockchain technology to authenticate that there's only a limited amount of pieces. And everybody understands that, right? Because going too deep into technology with these partners is just going to complicate things. So the way I explained it to all of our partners and they all understand, and the way they can see it's benefiting right now is they know that virtual merchandising will be a big revenue stream in the future. It can be NFTs for players, it can be virtual merchandising, it can be whatever it is, and that it has all to be built on the blockchain technology to make sure that it's an authentic piece and it can't be copied. And this is what everyone understands. And this is how we educated them as well to say blockchain technology is here to authenticate the virtual merchandising that you can create in the future. And then on top of that, we have our reward token that works across all of these different federations. And that reward token has to be also on the blockchain, and it has to be also a currency that can be traded, a currency that can be cashed out if the user don't want to redeem them in their own marketplace.
I believe you're describing the system of Urbanball specifically because I think it's the perfect example.
Exactly, one of it, yeah, absolutely.
Great. Can you introduce Urbanball more to us for those who don't know as well?
Urbanball is a brand created by Sean Garnier, who is a top 10 Red Bull, athlete in the world and 2 times freestyle world champion. He came to me, he's also based in Dubai. He came to me last year and he was approached by like 100 different groups, everyone offering him money to endorse the NFT project, but he was very careful. He has built that brand over the last 20 years, 20 million social media followers, commercial deals with Red Bull, Decathlon, etc. So he was very conservative. He was very careful. He came to me and say, what can we do with NFTs to create a real utility? So we came up with the whole idea of creating, a new league right, called Fight Ball, where we're going around the world, like we are now in Rio de Janeiro, scouting talent by organizing tournaments, and then allowing these talents to also have their NFTs, dropped on Binance, which is a huge opportunity for them because they are not Ronaldo and they're not Messi and they're not like a top 10 player in the world, but they still have the opportunity to be on the same packs like Dani Alves, like Sean Gane, and like all of these other top superstars. And then to build the utility of this NFT, we are also developing a game where then the NFT, is used to play the player inside the game, right? And this is how we came together with Sean Gane under the company Urbanball to create this new league, the NFT campaign on Binance, and then obviously the upcoming game where there is the utility for the NFT.
Great. I believe Urbanball already had 2 NFT drops on Binance this year. What does the roadmap of Urbanball look like? How much has been done? What else to come? What should people expect? What should the people that are following the game and EX Sports expect from Urbanball?
So the agreement with Binance was to have 6 drops until the game release in the end of the year. Out of the 6 drops, we already launched 2 drops. We launched the UK edition and the Belgium edition. So we went to these countries, we organized tournaments there. We took the winners from these different countries to Dubai to have a special event and a special activation there, sponsored and also powered by Emma, by Binance Chain, by Binance NFT, etc. And now we have 4 more drops lined up. We are currently in Rio de Janeiro, preparing for the event this weekend for Rio. And then end of this month, on the 29th July, we will have the Brazil drop, right, which is one of the biggest drop that we're going to have because, as you know, in Brazil, football is a religion, right? And in that upcoming drop, we also have the opportunity to have 10 exclusive NFTs of Dani Alves integrated into the mystery boxes. So it's amazing. And then we have 3 more drops after that until the game release comes out around the World Cup time.
Fair enough. Have you consolidated the date of the 3rd drop yet or not yet?
Yes, we have it, 29th of July. Your team from the Binance NFT gave it to us already, 29th of July.
29th of July, and it is. How will Urbanball connect with the wider EX Sports ecosystem? You started with one-on-one football scouting talent, and you've created Urbanball League from it. How will it connect with the overall message from EX Sports, since you have 30 federations signed in clearly various disciplines of arts and sports?
So the message is perfect because, like I mentioned before, we built EX Sports with the aim to go after the non-major sports, which obviously includes football as the biggest sports in the world, right? Because first of all, these guys already have enough money, they know how to make money, and then all of the other bigger groups, they're all jumping on the expensive IP. So they didn't need us. We went out in a different direction to go after the smaller sports, right? And we actually said, let's stay away from football because football is rich enough and everybody's throwing money on them. Let's help the jiu-jitsus, let's help the Muay Thai, let's help the smaller ones, right? But then we realized, whoa, even in football, right, which is the biggest sport in the world, there is street football that nobody really owns, that nobody really controls. And there is like probably, 100 million talents out there in the streets of Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires, all around the world, Egypt, Nigeria, etc., that don't have the opportunity to have their NFTs or don't have the opportunity to monetize with blockchain technology, right? So it was perfect because it matches with the vision of EX Sports that we are a platform for the underdogs, for the niche sports, for the ones that are struggling to survive, right? And even though, like I mentioned, football is the biggest sport in the world, there is still different categories in football that, are struggling to survive, including street football. And that's why it's perfect matching into the vision of EX Sports. And then it also matches into the whole ecosystem because, a user can go and invest in an upcoming jiu-jitsu athlete from Philippines, or he can invest in an upcoming street football player in Rio de Janeiro, right? And, the only difference right now with how we integrated also the Fight Ball and the Urbanball into the EX Sports ecosystem is that when you have the NFTs of the football players, you can use them to play a game. Where, with the other sports, you can use the NFT to access content, to access pay-per-view events, etc. So it also widens our ecosystem, it widens our features, and it gives more opportunities for people to, experience, with the NFTs, a live streaming event, or, use it for gaming, which is, the future that I believe in this whole space.
Great. Can you please tell us more about the ecosystem of EX Sports and the app itself, along with some of the features and services that the users will benefit from by using it?
Yeah, so absolutely. The first thing is, as I mentioned, is super easy to onboard users because, we designed the app that, people come in, they're buying the tokens directly, and then they're going into one, section. I can show it to you later on the presentation where they can choose the different sports. So the first thing what they're doing is they're actually buying the NFT of the athlete and they're engaging with the athlete before the event, right? They're rewarding the athlete. The second feature then what we're offering to the people who now bought the NFT to reward an athlete, we are now giving them the opportunity to also access free live events, free pay-per-view events, etc. So now here we can reward them back, right? That's the second feature, access to the streaming services, etc. And then after that, we have implemented one very important feature, which is the reward system. So if you have invested now, for example, in an upcoming jiu-jitsu player from Philippines who is coming to jiu-jitsu to play at the World Championships, right? And he is winning, let's say, $10,000 prize money, you and the other 999 NFT holders will all get a fraction of that prize money, which then you can use inside the real marketplace for, redeeming into, Binance products. You can redeem it into, engagement with the athlete going forward. You can redeem it for products and services provided by the sponsors, etc. So these are the four main features. The one is the NFT marketplace for the individual athlete. Second one is the whole streaming and the content experience. The third one is the whole reward experience that you can get. And then, redemption, which is a very important point because you got rewarded, you want to redeem and you want to get, something out of it. So these are the four core features. And gaming, sorry, I forgot the most important. Number 5 is, you use your NFTs for gaming.
To play the game itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. What does the next month look like for EX Sports? Aside from Urbanball, what others can the users expect? Are you working on other projects or are you just focusing on Urbanball to start with?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are releasing the app again. We took it down because we are rebuilding now on BNB Chain. What we did before is we actually launched the app. It was on Ethereum. It wasn't scalable. It was slow, and then obviously with all of the, support we are getting from Binance through the Binance NFT marketplace, etc., we decided to build on the BNB Chain, take down the app and relaunch it again. So, on the one side, we are running the campaign with Binance NFT, Binance Chain for, the upcoming game release. But then also we are relaunching our app again next month, where the user will have the experience to, buy the NFTs of, over the, all these different sports, right? On top of launching the NFTs from all of these different federations that we already have secured, we are also going to try some new feature, which is the release of a fan token. We have partnered up with Siena FC, a football club from Italy, almost 100 years old football club, to be their NFT partner, but also be the partner on their fan token release. Because we have seen that, and Binance saw that as well, that the whole fan token thing is a big market as well. So we wanted to have at least, 5 to 10 upcoming fan tokens also launched in our ecosystem.
You mentioned that you're going to be releasing the app next month. Is that the Urbanball app or the EX Sports app?
The EX Sports app, the Urbanball, Fightball, the game will be released in the end of the year around World Cup with a big event.
What are some of the challenges that you faced when developing EX Sports from both the sports industry level and a crypto industry level?
From the sports industry level, because I started in 2019 doing the use case with the International Federation of Jiu-Jitsu and presenting this use case at Sportacourt in front of the IOC and in front of every decision maker of every sport federation. The challenge back then in 2019 is that nobody understood what I was talking about. Seriously, nobody. I was in a conference with 2,500 people, right, including the Olympic Committee, and I was showing them the use case that we already did in Abu Dhabi in April 2019, and there was 2 people in the room that had a question, and that question was, is this Bitcoin? They had no clue. So the challenge back then was to really educate them and tell them, listen, guys, first of all, we're not a cryptocurrency. Second of all, we are just using this technology to authenticate the virtual merchandising that you can create, right? So it was okay. We built a very strong use case. We were able to acquire more IP. They trusted us because I've been, in that circle for the last 17 years. And then obviously COVID happened. And when COVID happened, we had to all make a step back, which actually worked out in our favor because then these federations that I talked to in 2019 suddenly reached out to me and asking me to educate them more about Bitcoin. And I keep telling them, guys, we are not Bitcoin. We are blockchain technology for a fan engagement platform. So that was actually a good opportunity to then really get more of their attention and educate them more. But then what also happened with the whole NFT bubble last year, right? It worked a little bit against us, because suddenly the same people that we talked to that didn't have any clue of anything, in 2019, suddenly thought they're sitting on, $1 billion worth of, assets right now. So, I'm actually glad right now that the market went down a little bit, because right now all of these IP owners that we already, structured the deals and finalized the agreements with, they're all now more humble, because they realize, that it's not. So this is the challenge on the sports industry, is like from not knowing anything and educating them for 2 years to then suddenly dealing with the same people who thinking right now that they have to deserve 50 times more in licensing fees, to now being actually good because they're more humble, and they don't become too arrogant. And then the opportunities on the whole market going down right now also is that a lot of people from last year that secured IP, right, and thought that once they have the IP, they can raise $10 million more out of the crypto market. They're all broke now, which is perfect for us, because they're also coming to us to launch the IP on our existing marketplace. So this is the challenge, that I faced, that how the crypto industry actually set the expectations for all of these IP owners very high suddenly. And that was the challenge for us. And now it comes down, everybody's back to normal again. Everybody is coming down to the earth again, down from the moon.
Okay, and what are the challenges that you faced from the crypto community, from inside the crypto community itself when you started developing the project?
And from the crypto community, like I said, is because there was such a pump and such a bubble last year with NFTs. The challenge was that, they set the expectations for the real world IP owners very high. So that was one of the challenges that we had. And in general, for the crypto industry, the challenges what we had is that we built, like I mentioned before, on Ethereum. It wasn't scalable. And then we had to take it down and find a partner like Binance, that can provide us the technology to make this whole thing scalable.
Well, I'm happy that we were able to help. One final question before we start taking other questions. What's the goal of eSports? How do you envision it moving forward?
The goal of eSports, like I mentioned before, is like, when you fly with, for example, Thai Airways to Thailand from Dubai, and then you're earning, miles that you can redeem for a Lufthansa flight back to Germany, right? So, this is the vision of eSports. We want to have one unified platform for all of these different sports, where you are able right now to invest in an upcoming jiu-jitsu player from Philippines who is playing in Abu Dhabi, but then redeem the tokens that you earn through this event, on a Muay Thai event in Thailand. Or you can invest in a Muay Thai player in Thailand and redeem the tokens that you earned, as to buy virtual merchandising NFTs of a football game in Brazil. Because this is the thing that is missing. And this is the biggest vision, right? I can fly Emirates and I can earn Marriott Bonvoy points to stay in the hotel. But in the sports industry, it doesn't exist. There is the major league sports that have their own fan loyalty programs, right? But there's a closed ecosystem. They are rich enough to maintain their closed ecosystem. But across all of these other different sports and all of these different leagues, there is not one token that you can earn on one place and redeem it on the other place. And that is the biggest vision, to build like the Star Alliance of, the sports world.
That's a great vision to have, and I genuinely hope that this will come to fruition soon with all of your efforts. Can I ask you if you have a deck or a presentation?
I will go over the presentation quickly. Most of the things I mentioned before, Urbanball and Fightball, is actually a perfect fit into our vision, because it represents a knee sports inside, under soccer. So what we have created here is a whole section for street football to demonstrate it. So here, under all of the different federations that were mentioned before, we have added one new section that is focusing on street football. All of these NFTs that you see here right now are NFTs that you can buy exclusively only on the Binance NFT marketplace. Every month, one drop, 10,000 NFTs on the mystery boxes. You will be able to either get a character card or a skill card from some of these talents that we are scouting all around the world through our physical tournaments. And then in the end of the year, when the game comes out, you will be able to move your asset from Binance over to the eXports ecosystem. And inside the same ecosystem, you can now use your NFT to play the first street football play to earn mobile game in the world. So as I've mentioned before, here is now my collection of all of the characters that I have now bought on the Binance NFT marketplace. Here are all the skills that I also bought there, or later I can buy them on the eXports app as well. And now I'm able to play in 3 different modes. I'm able to participate on the play to earn mode, which is the 1vs1. So as you can see here right now, all of the characters that we scouted around the world, they became now in-game characters that I can play right now to earn tokens. Then we have the freestyle mode, which is more like a Dance Revolution style, more rhythmic game where I can show my skills, earn some points as well, redeem these points in the marketplace for new skins, for new shoes, all of that. And then there is the trickshot competitions. The trickshot competitions also will give the user the ability on a daily basis to earn some tokens, to earn some rewards, and to earn some prizes. So as you can see, it's all integrated in one ecosystem here, but currently we are not dropping the NFTs on eXports. We are not there yet. We are not ready yet, and there is no better place than Binance NFT to have all of our NFTs dropped there until the end of the year. So this is how the app also looks like. And then on top of that, we are the ones that rewarding the fans by issuing our token and distributing our tokens to the fan community. And if the fan decides to now further engage with the athlete for a private session, for anything else, one-on-one call, whatever it is, the athlete keeps 99.5% of the revenues in his pocket. So the whole eXports platform is built to profit the athlete. Why are you releasing the Urbanball app around the same time with the World Cup? I think that answer is very clear. World Cup is the biggest event. We already had an activation event there a month ago where we gave the opportunity of one of the Binance NFT holders to meet and greet with Neymar. So, we have a very good deal to do the final Urbanball event at the World Cup as an activation event, and on top of that, we are then releasing the game. So it's the biggest event for the next 4 years what's happening, and it's the best time to launch the app. To answer that question, question number 3 I see here: when are we going to know who is the next Brazil champion? Explain the process in Brazil. So the process in Brazil is Sean Garnier was here 3 months ago. He already organized a tournament in Sao Paulo, going around different favelas with over 1,000 participating kids. He scouted there one guy who represents Sao Paulo. Now we are currently in Rio. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have 3 days of non-stop events across different favelas to scout talent in these favelas. We will then identify who is the best player of Rio. And on the 27th of July, we will be flying in the winner of Sao Paulo, the winner of Rio de Janeiro, to Dubai to face each other there. And both of them will have the opportunity to be part on the Binance NFT drop on the 29th July, but only one of them will become an in-game character that can you use for play to earn, right? So this is the only difference. But by the end of this week, so on Sunday, we will release who is the Rio winner, and by then we will release also all of the 5 characters that will be part of the upcoming drop on Binance NFT. The web marketplace will be released within the next 15 days, and the app on the App Store will be up again in the next 60 to 90 days. It was live before, but it wasn't scalable, so we had to take it down and rebuild.
So how do users can use NFTs to play the game?
So the way it works right now with our campaign on the Binance NFT marketplace is, first of all, we are bringing the users on the Binance NFT marketplace to buy the NFTs. And in the end of the year, they will be able to then move the NFTs over into our eXports ecosystem. And from there, they will be able now to use one of their character cards and 2 or 3 of their skill cards to play against another user. So this is how it works. In order to play, you will need to have 1 character card at least, because you need to have the character to play on the different categories. And you will need to also have different skills in order to compete on that 1 versus 1 format.
So what is the process of applying to join the fight ball?
Joining the fight ball is we will have, if somebody is in Rio right now and watching and wants to join, for example, we will release tomorrow the exact locations for the upcoming events, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they have to register online. They have to be at least 18 years old, and then, the process is that they have to register. So we have open spots for the event on Friday. We have 32 open spots on Friday, 32 open spots on Saturday, and then we have 64 open spots on Sunday. So we will release the link by tomorrow, and then people can immediately register. So it's very limited, and this is the only way to register first.
So why was Binance blockchain preferred to do Ethereum blockchain?
First of all, it's scalable, right? It's cheaper, it's scalable. I'm not a tech guy, but my team told me that BNB Chain is the perfect solution for us. Very low fees, very fast transactions, etc. So all of the technical benefits that BNB Chain brings, and then on top of that, also it was for me a business decision, and the business decision came because I saw that we got a lot of support from the entire ecosystem of Binance. So it was not only that we went with Binance because of the technology solution, which is the right way for us anyway, but on top of that, we got support from the Binance NFT marketplace. We got support from different parts under Binance that all supported what we're doing, because they're all sharing the vision, and they also supporting what we're doing. So that's why it was a decision that we say, okay, look, these guys, they not only come in with the tech, but they will also come in with all the different other parts in the ecosystem that will help us to build something big.
Cool. I think that's all for today, and really appreciate to have Toli here to share his insights. So before we end the live stream, Toli, do you have something you want to say to the audience?
To the audience, it depends who's watching. If somebody's watching from Brazil, don't miss the opportunity to be part of the Fight Ball tournament, obviously, this weekend. For anyone that is watching from Dubai, from our partners, from our investors, I would like to thank them, for all the support, for all of the patience that they have with us, in the last 1 year. And for Binance, I want to say thanks for the team from the Binance NFT marketplace. I want to say thanks to Ryan Horn, to Athena from the NFT marketplace, Gerald, all of the great people, Ahmed, who are helping from the different parts here to make this happen and support the project.
There are so many exciting things are coming. So thank you, Toli, today. And thanks everyone joining the live stream.
Thank you, Tiana. All the best. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, Ahmed.